This tutorial explains the default value field in the context of creating field definitions within SPXA. You need to understand the basics of multi-value databases in order to best utilize this tutorial. If you create a field within SPXA, you must define it. Aside from all of the other information you might use to define your field, you can assign a default value. A default value can be an actual value or an expression resulting in a value. For example, within SBDemo, the fictitious car rental application shipped as an example with SPXA, there is a screen to provide information about the various rental locations. You could choose to make branch 2, the Manchester branch, be the default value for this screen. In other words, when a user searches for branch information, the screen defaults to the information about the Manchester branch, but you can then select another branch if you choose. To set this default, access the Branch Details screen through the Screen Designer. Select the branch code field. Press F5 and click F5 for field definition. Select the default value field and enter 2, the code for the Manchester branch. Save, exit, and run the screen. You can see that branch 2, Manchester, is selected by default, and there is the information about the Manchester branch. But you can select a different branch if you choose. You can integrate more business logic into your default value by using an expression. For example, there is a screen in the car rental system for scheduling service on a car in the rental fleet. It allows you to schedule service, choosing the vehicle on which the service is to be done, the date on which the service will begin, and the date on which it is to be finished. Perhaps you know that a specific service package typically takes 5 days, but for a specific type of car in the fleet, that service is a bit faster, perhaps 3 days. You can set a default value to reflect this. Access the screen definition. In this case, the dictionary behind the screen is service.head. Select the Date Out field and press F5, and then click F5 for field definition. In the default value field, enter an expression to produce the desired result. In this case, it's an if statement that says, if the car manufacturer is Honda, the date out, or date that the service will be completed, is today's date plus 3 days, or 3 days from now. If it is not Honda, the date out is today's date plus 5 days. Save your changes, and then run the screen. If you schedule service for a Honda, you can see that our default value means that the service is automatically scheduled to take 3 days. But if you schedule the same service for a Ferrari, it is scheduled to take 5 days by default. For more information about the default value field, please see the Field Definitions documentation in the Rocket System Builder Extensible Architecture Developer's Guide.